something was different about me. And ever since that day, like, because I had marijuana in my house, like, I always had to have, like, big jars, Coke. I'd always have it because I was selling it. And ever since then, like, I got disgusted by it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want nothing to do since that day. So I know God touched me right there.
Hey guys, welcome to the Gentle Art of Leadership podcast. I'm here with my friend of 30 years, 3 decades, Juan Quintana. He and I met when he was 7 years old, and he decided to take a path of leadership initially with the wrong people making the wrong decisions, and then turned that all around when he met Jesus in an incredible way. He is now living his life for the kingdom and leading into something and leaning into something very impactful. And in doing so, we're going to talk about his journey going through that and deciding to become a speaker. So check out the episode. You can't miss this show. Are you a faith-based father and looking for intentional ways to connect with your son in a big way? If so, you have to check out the Father-Son Hike of a Lifetime on the Camino de Santiago in Spain. June 2025, I am taking a group of faith-based fathers and their sons over to Spain for 9 days and the adventure of a lifetime. Go check it out at mattshoup.com/Spain. On that page, you'll actually see all of my upcoming Spain adventures, but make sure to check out the Father-Son Hike of a Lifetime. Juan Quintana.
Matt, Shoup, nice to meet you.
Good to have you here. Meet me. We've known you forever, man. Dang, It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Matt.
So I was just telling, Emily was just here. She got us all set up. This was Emily helped set the studio up. And
thank you, Emily.
Get us set up today. And I met you when I was 17. You were 7.
I was a little boy.
You're a little boy. So I'm at Loveland High School over there. It's my senior year, and I finished up all my credits by the end of junior year. So all you were required to do senior year was college comp, and that was it. Like, I had done all the classes, and there was nothing else to do. So I was taking Spanish. I finished Spanish early. So they called me down to the guidance counselor's office. They're like, you got to do something. I'm like, well, I'll do weightlifting and college comp. They're like, well, you got to do something else. Like, well, I don't know what to do. Then I look over, and there's a really cute cheerleader. Yeah. And she goes, well, you should do elementary tutoring. I said, oh, I like kids. And she goes, well, I do elementary tutoring. I said, where do you do elementary tutoring? She said, Mary Blair Elementary. So I said, I'll go to Mary Blair Elementary and do elementary tutoring if you're going to be there. And then I ended up there and met you.
That's crazy.
So talk about that. What were you doing before Mary Blair Elementary? This is what, you're in 2nd grade, right? Second, third grade.
Yep, 2nd grade, yeah. I think that was my first year there because I went to Trescott Elementary.
Yeah.
And then from there I got moved over to, because we moved houses.
Yeah.
I used to live on 1st Street, and then we moved over here on 23rd, and that's when I moved schools.
So when I met you because they needed somebody to translate. I came there to help with the kids, but you and your family, and then there was like Freddie. Who was all there? It was Freddie, Daniel. There's a whole group of you guys that were all there. And some of you, a lot of you didn't speak English.
Yeah.
And your parents for sure didn't speak English.
No, they still don't.
Yeah, they still don't. Yeah. But how much English did you speak back then?
None.
It was none.
Yeah. Only like, I didn't speak nothing at all. Mm-hmm. So when you got there, I was like more comfortable, because you were So did you go with Miss Templeton?
Templeton was there. Yeah, that was when Jessica, what's up, Jessica, was there running the ESL program. There might have been somebody there before her, wasn't there? Who was before Jessica?
I don't remember.
No. But I do remember Jessica, and that's when we all connected. Mm-hmm. So just talk about your life getting to Mary Blair, and like, where'd you grow up? You were no speaking English, 2nd grade.
Yep.
And then we met. And I was translating for you.
I came when I was 2 or 3 from Mexico originally, and my parents, I come from Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Come from nothing. Went to Trescott Elementary, then moved to Mary Blair. Not knowing English here is pretty hard. Like, especially if you go to school and you want to say something to the teachers and you're like, it's hard.
What are some of your first memories here? Was it Truscott?
It was
And just being in school?
Yeah.
What was that like?
I mean, troublemaker.
Yeah. Were you always a troublemaker?
I
though?
was always a troublemaker.
So like out of the womb?
Yeah.
Is your dad a troublemaker?
No, he was, he's always been just working. Like since he was little, he says he never went to school. He actually didn't go to school at all.
But you were born troublemaker, right? Like that didn't rub off from him to you. You just got here.
Yeah, I was nothing but trouble. And I think I just wanted to maybe like get attention, that was my thing. I just wanted to get everybody's attention, and trouble was the way to do it,
So then, not knowing English, did you lean into more trouble? To get attention, do you think? Because when I met you, you were trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trouble. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, not knowing English, I mean, like it put in my mind like nobody pays attention because I don't know English, so it was hard to communicate. Yeah. I remember the first word that I was able to say, like, can I use the restroom? Yeah. That was my first word.
Got to know that.
Yeah. Can I use the restroom? And yeah, like just small things.
Yeah. So growing up, Truscott, Mary Blair, learning the basic words. And then talk about Jessica, because she comes in. And I mean, she was a huge part of your story and life. She came in to connect with all of you guys and teach you English, right? ESL.
Yeah.
English is a second language. So I remember those days being over there. Like I was going through a bunch of photos the other day of me and you and all the boys and girls. You have to pull them out and show them to you. Maybe we can tag them here, Joey. But talk about that. Just learning English here in school in that ESL program.
Yeah, I mean, ESL was really important to me because, I mean, all I wanted to do was learn English when I first got here, So when I got into that, it was Miss Templeton, right? Yeah, because she got married, and then she changed her.
Well, she was Standard.
Yeah, Miss
now
Standard.
she's Templeton, so she was Standard back then. Yeah,
Jessica Standard. So now she's Jessica Templeton. Yep. Yeah, I remember her. Yeah. I mean, she helped me out a lot with English.
Yeah.
And then you came up, and that made it way easier.
Yeah.
Because I could communicate,
And you guys taught me all the profanity. Remember that? Do you remember when I came in?
Yeah.
You guys started cursing at me? And I knew some of it. I didn't know all of it. And I go, oh, what is that one? I learned all the good stuff from him. Right? I learned the Spain profanity in Spain, but you guys taught me the good, like Chihuahua street profanity. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. You got to know it though, right? Like you don't use it now.
No, I try not to. I try not to.
So you come out of Mary Blair, and then you're over at Conball, right?
I went to Conball, because they were right next to each other.
When did you go from trouble to real trouble? Because I remember at Conball, you gave Linda Spreitzer quite a hard time.
Yeah.
What's up, Linda?
Hello, Linda. Yeah, I was. So I went to Mary Blair, and then after that, I think I flunked second and kindergarten. So I flunked those two. I mean, the easiest grades. I just never did my work. Yeah. Never. Like, I was flunking PE, and everybody would tell me, how do you flunk PE? By not dressing up, because I would never dress up or do my, just didn't care for school ever. And, I moved to Conball, and that's when I started hanging out with I wouldn't say bad friends, but like they would lead me into like bad decisions.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be the leader, so I would always start doing bad stuff, and then they would follow me. And
yeah. And the stakes got higher, right? From elementary school to middle school, you started getting exposed to lots of new things, right? And is that where like the drugs and all that stuff comes in? Is that middle school back at that point?
It was middle school, my 6th grade. I started, I started 6th grade using marijuana and then smoking cigarettes. And from there, it just leads you, like marijuana leads you to, when you do it so long, it leads you to another drug. And that's how it goes and moves on.
Yeah. And I think as you went to Conball, I went off to college, right? And then I went off to Spain, and we stayed in touch a little bit. And then we met at Conball for an award ceremony, but I think it was like right about after that point. I go get married, you go off, you're finishing off middle school, right? 14, 15, then we lost touch for a little bit.
Yeah.
So talk about those years. Because it was a good while that we didn't see each other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So where'd you go? What were you doing?
So I've always loved working. My dad he still owns his company. It's in New Mexico. Yeah, he owns a rock quarry. And so at 13, I met my wife. At 13, yeah, because I was getting out of middle school. We met, and then at 14, we got together. And then 15, yeah, it was 15, we got married.
So did she fall in love with you first? Was she like, oh,
No,
Juan, I love you?
I did.
She fell head over heels for you, right?
Yeah.
Was that how your wife was, Joey?
I was first, for sure.
You fell in love first?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I was. So you fell in love first?
Yeah, I
with her.
fell in love with her.
Did you have to like pursue her?
A little
Did she
bit.
run away from you?
Yeah.
Emily was like, hell no.
Yeah, that's how
Wanna talk to
mine
you.
was.
Love it. Those are good women, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they made us work.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Did you guys meet in school?
No. So one of my cousins was dating her sister, and then I told my cousin, he passed away now. I told him, hey, you should meet me. You should introduce me to her sister. And yeah, that's how we got. One day I went to her house and we just fell in love.
So you meet her, fall in love, 13, 14, you're together, 15, married.
Married, yep. And then we had our first kid. 14, and then at 15 we had our first kid, Briley. And then 1 year later, our second child, which is Raina.
Yeah.
So now I have 4 kids with her. I have an 8-year-old and then a 3-year-old.
She hung around the whole time, man, through all of this story that you're about to share.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Nobody knows how she did it, to be honest. My family, I was so bad that my mom and dad and my sisters would tell her, hey, you should just run away from him. Like, they would even, like, pay for her ticket so she can just go to another country with the kids.
Just get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really bad.
So talk about that, right? So you're here on a leadership podcast, right? Because you were the ringleader from all the way back in the day, and now you're stepping into leadership in a way different way, in a good way.
Yeah.
But talk about that journey from, you were always a leader, right? I saw that in you. We saw that in each other. But like, you got into some bad stuff.
Oh yeah.
So just talk about that journey of going into that, and then you had a pretty big awakening.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I started getting into really deep trouble when I had my first kid. I did not care. Like, I could say I was never there for them because I was always drinking and partying with my friends. So I was never at the house. I would go like 4 or 5 days without coming home. And like when I came home, I was just didn't care, So my wife, like, I remember her telling me that, like, my kids were so scared of me. They used to call me the monster, but they would tell my wife. They never told me.
Yeah.
And then, like, every time I would come from work, they would, like, be like, hey, like, Briley and Raina, my oldest, they would be like, hey, the monster's here from work, So that was pretty, it was pretty crazy for them to say that because I was really bad in drugs. And then I started, like, stealing. I was a really, like, me and my friends just loved stealing everything.
Just anything?
Anything.
Did you ever steal anything from me?
No.
No?
No,
I'm just wondering.
No, I did not. But yeah, I mean,
What's the coolest thing you've ever stolen? Or biggest thing you've ever stolen?
probably a car.
You stole a car?
Yeah.
Do you know how to steal a car, Joey?
Goodness, no.
We shoplifted from like King Supers. You stole a car.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you do when you steal a car? You just take it, drive it, leave it somewhere?
So we liked the rims, and then me and my friends, we were freaking crazy. We liked the rims, and since I was like the main guy, it was 6 of us, and that night we just went on a like cruising streak, just breaking windows. We used to break them with spark plugs. I don't know if you know, like you break a spark plug and any little piece, you just throw it in the window and they shatter and they don't make noise. So that's how we would break them and just go in there and steal whatever they had in the stereo. We were normally for stereos.
Okay.
And then that night we were going towards Fort Collins, and we had already broken in like at least 30 cars. And then we were in Fort Collins, and this is how dumb we were. We went to it was like a RV parking lot, and there was a car right there. There was a body shop and a car, and we liked the rims because they had really nice rims. And then we were like, what should we do? Because we didn't have the tool to take them off. And it had the keys in it. And then we tried starting it, and the battery was dead. So we told them, well, let's jump it, with jumper cables.
Yeah.
So we were doing that. And then when we were popping the hood, these old folks came out of a motorhome, and they're like, hey, what are you guys doing? And we were like right next to the police station too. So that didn't help. And they're like, we're going to call the police. And then right there, we jumped it, and then I took the car. But like probably like a mile later, we seen like a lot of cars behind us. So I just left the car there. Yeah. And then I went with my friends. We were on an expedition, and it was full of stuff. Like we had that thing fully loaded.
It's Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas in there. Yeah.
And we seen a lot of cars behind us, and we knew they were cops. So we were going towards I-25, trying to get to Loveland. And like the lights just kept getting closer and closer. And yeah, the driver and the passenger, they were two brothers, the ones that I was with. They were twins, and they didn't know Spanish, no English at all. So we seen the sirens, and we're like, oh man, they caught us. And right there, they like at least it was like 6 or 7 police cars, and they got off with their shotguns, and they kept telling us, because I knew English at the time, so they kept telling us, hey, put your hands up and throw the keys outside. So the driver was saying, hey, what are they saying? And I just kept telling him, just throw the keys out. And they're like, just put your hands up or we will shoot. So yeah, I mean, that one was a pretty scary moment.
Was that first time getting arrested? Did you guys get arrested?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was my first time getting arrested. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was my first time. I was a minor. I don't know if you remember Camilo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was with me too. So me and him were minors. And then the other ones, they were all older, over 18.
Do you need a new roof or new paint job on your home or business and live in Northern Colorado? If so, check out one of our sponsors, M&E Painting and Roofing. We've been around for 20 years here in the community, and full disclosure, I am the M in M&E. Check them out at mdepainting.com. Are you a business owner who is struggling to understand and navigate the world of digital media? If so, check out one of our sponsors, Imprint Digital. They are the go-to source for everything digital related to your business. Not only are they a sponsor, but they also take care of all of our company's website. They produce this podcast, and I highly recommend them. Check them out at imprint-digital.com. If you have a story to share and you're thinking of becoming an author to do so, you have to connect with one of our sponsors, Scribe Media. I worked with Scribe to publish Painted Baby, and I'm currently working with them again to publish my next book, Pour Into People. Click on the link in the show notes below to connect with them, and they'll actually give you a little something extra because you came to them through me.
We got sent to juvie,
yeah,
and then did a couple months there for that. Then they dropped a lot of the cases, but I had to pay a lot.
Did you learn your lesson then?
No.
So you kept back drugs, stealing.
Yeah, I got into after that. I mean, I don't know why, but I just didn't care for life.
Yeah.
I did not. I started using marijuana first, and then cocaine. I got into cocaine really, really bad because my brother-in-law, we used to like sell it.
Oh, you sold it and took it?
And took it, yeah. So I would always have it, I never went around looking for drugs. They were always just right there.
It's like coffee.
You
sell it and drink it.
Yeah, that's
perfect. It's a perfect business, right?
Yeah, so I mean.
How old were you the first time you did that? I tried cocaine once in college in Vegas, and all you want to do is more
Yeah.
until we ran out. And like we ran out, and then I don't remember what happened. But is that the same for you? You just want more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff's wild. But you got pretty deep into that, right?
Really, yeah. Yeah, I was doing like sometimes I would do like more than 2 8-balls a week. So I mean, yeah, that's a lot for.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I don't know how much that is. That sounds like a lot.
It's like a gram a day,
Yeah, probably, yeah.
which is a lot.
You wouldn't say a 16 ball, right? Is that not correct? 8 plus 8.
We call it a teener.
2 8-balls.
We call it a teener.
It's a lot of coke. Joey knows. Joey, talk to us about cocaine.
Well, so a teener is like half of an 8-ball. 8-ball is 3.5 grams, and he was doing a quarter ounce. So he was doing 7 grams a week,
Okay.
which is, you know, those like little baggies. That's if you fill one of those little baggies up like about a third of the way, a halfway. That's about a gram.
Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
blow. It's a lot of blow.
Yeah, no, I was doing so much that, yeah. On my birthdays, like, me and my brother-in-law, he would do my whole name, Juan, like in the lines. Yeah, and I would, like, that was every birthday. And I would have to, he's like, if you sniff it all, I'll give you more. So I was so into that.
Like you sniff the first name, I'll give you the last name. Dang. And so, but you're married with 2 kids at this point?
I'm married, yeah. I'm married with 2 kids, yeah. Okay. And I was actually so bad that I did it in front of my kids.
Yeah.
That's how horrible I was. Like, I would get in the car. Like, I remember my wife would pick me up from wherever I told her I was. And sometimes I would wake up, I'm like, what am I doing here? And she would pick me up, and then, like, right as soon as she would pick me up, I would just get the bag out with my kids in the car and just start sniffing.
So what turns that all around? Like, because you're bad, right? Drugs, drinking, coke.
Yeah.
What was that turning point for you? Because you're not doing all that now.
Oh, no. Yeah. I think my turning point was just watching my kids see me, you know, like, and I spent a lot of time in jail. The most I did was a year. And in that time, that year, my kid, Briley, the oldest, he's like, and that's what hurt me the most. He's like, hey, Dad, like, when are you going to spend time with us? You spend more time in jail than you do with us. So that day, I went to my cell crying like a little baby, and, like, I wanted to wake up. And I would land in jail, like, a lot. And every time I would land in there, I would start reading the Bible. But as soon as I come out to the world, I would just ignore it. You know what I mean? And, yeah, when my kids said that, and then my wife, like, she was always there, you know? Like, and I tell her right now, why didn't you leave me? And she's all, because if I felt like if I would have left you, you would have gone way worse. You know, so, and I tell her thank you, like, every day for that, because she went through a lot.
Yeah.
I even got a DUI with my kids in the car. So, yeah.
And so when was all this turnaround? Because you put down the drugs and the drinking, and, you know, your wife saved you, kids saved you, God saved you.
Yeah.
You started reading the Bible and
I started
experiencing God. Did you have that growing up? Were your family?
Well, yeah, they were always Christians.
Yeah.
I just took the wrong path.
Okay.
My 13, 14-year-olds, I took the wrong path. But yeah, I started focusing. 2020, I started focusing more on God, giving my life to God, and I was a really how do you say it? Like when you believe, but you have to see it to believe it. You know, I was like one of those, and until I met this Christian lady. Her name is Graciela. Mm-hmm. And I even named my daughter after her because I think she was an angel. God sent her.
Because you told me, right? Like you said this offline when we had coffee a couple months ago when we reconnected. And you're like, yeah, I believed it, but I needed to see it.
Yeah.
And experience it to believe it.
Yeah.
So you believed it, but not really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I believed in God. I just
But you never experienced
it until that day.
Graciela.
Graciela, yeah.
So tell me about her. Well, you've told me about her. Tell us about her.
She's something. She's special. Because this one day, me and my dad were sitting over there at the trailer park at my dad's house, and Joanna and Perla, they gave their life to Christ way before me.
Yeah.
And they went up to the women's retreat in Estes Park, and the hermana Graciela was there, and they didn't know her. Like, that was the first time meeting the hermana Graciela, and they were praying for them and everything, and then all of a sudden, the Graciela told my sister Perla, she's like, "Hey, do you have a brother?" Because I used to have a long beard. "Do you have a brother with a long beard?" And then Perla was all like, "Yeah, I do." And then she's like, "God is sending me to pray for him because he's in really bad. He's doing bad decisions, because he won't tell them what I'm doing. He'll just say, like, I'm doing bad decisions and stuff." And then
She'd never met you.
no,
You'd never met her.
never. And then my sister told her, like, she set up an appointment, like, to come to my dad's house, and they never told me. So I went to my parents' house, and the hermana Graciela was going there.
So it was like an intervention, like
It was
that
like
show.
like a setup.
They set them up, right?
They set me up.
It was a setup.
Yeah, and then I was there, and then I remember Perla and Joanna and everybody got there. And that day I was drugged. I was using cocaine that day and marijuana, because I used to like mixing both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I was drugged, and then, like, the devil he's so twisted that he gets you to where you can't even tell you're drugged out no more. Like, I was using so much that you could not tell. I was always using eye drops, and at the end, like, I didn't even need them, because my eyes were just my parents.
It's just your normal, right?
Normal.
Just your normal, and you're
Yep.
totally functioning, just dead inside.
Yep. And then so I was there, and then they're like, Perla was all like, "Get ready, Juan, because hermana Graciela is coming." And I was like, "What do you mean?" "Yeah, I told her to come. She wants to pray for you." And then I was like, "Oh, okay, well, yeah. I mean, she can pray for me." And then she got there, and then I opened the door for her, and then she's like, You're Juan. God sent me here to pray for you." And then we got there, and then we gave her coffee and everything. And then she started praying for everybody. And then I would always believe on people, like, I did not believe on people that, like, touched. I would always thought that they would push you. You know what I mean? Like, when people are praying for you and you fall back.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
I was really like, I never believed that. I'm like, until that day.
Like those pastors on TV, and then they
Yeah.
ask you for money.
Yeah, they push you and then you fall. So I was watching, because I was like the last one she came to, and she was praying for my sisters. And then that day, it was the first day I seen somebody get delivered, from the devil. And that was my little brother and my little sister. And then she started praying for them. And, like, with my brother, it was pretty crazy, because she kept, like, at first she said, "Come out." And I was like, what does she mean? Like, and she would say, "Come out. In the name of Jesus, you're going to come out." And then my brother just started like screaming and wanting to hit her, And that's not my brother, because I know my little brother. And then, like, he started puking really bad. And then, like, we seen how the devil came out of him.
So was she performing an exorcism?
Was
he possessed by the devil, right?
He was possessed, yeah. And
so I hear about all this stuff, right, Joey? Like, you hear about this stuff and you see it, hear about it, but that was going on, right?
Yeah, that was going on.
You and your brother were possessed by the devil.
Yeah, well, my brother, he sure was, because, I mean, he got, and it's weird, because right now, like, he's got some scars on his back that since that day, he's got, like, scratches all over his back. And then what I know is that it was like a demon coming out of him that didn't want to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because those scratches is 10 scratches, and they're weird. Because they're not like out. You know, if you scratch somebody, like the dents go like out, they're like inside. So he was like from the
somebody
inside.
was scratching from the inside to get out.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. And then, so she was doing that, and then she was like dropping my family without even touching them, you know. And she has her son, Jesse. His name is Jesse, and he's like her, you know. Like they're always together, and like they would fall. And I was like, no, I don't believe that. Like,
So you're watching all this, right?
I'm watching.
So she's boom, sister, boom, Perla, Juan, right? Mom, brother.
My mom, she was in Mexico, so it was just my dad.
But you're just watching it come through the whole family.
I'm watching,
and then
yeah.
you're just
As soon as it was coming to me, I'm like, she's not gonna drop me, you know. Like,
you're squaring up.
You're like, I was ready, squaring up,
okay.
and like, like,
let's go.
and like, she came to me and she didn't even touch me. She just did this, and I fell to the ground, man. Like I lost my strength. It was weird. I fell to the ground, and like I was there for like an hour, laying in the ground. And she said, my sister Joanna told me that because she had gotten up. She told me that my stomach was like it was crazy. My throat right here, it was like, you know, like it was weird. And when I got up, and right there when I met her, I was like 100 pounds. That's how bad I was. I was only like 100 pounds because
just coked out, right?
Coked out, yeah, coked out, and I tried meth too, but I didn't like that stuff. It kept me up for like a whole week, so I'm like, nah, I better stay off of that. And so like I was laying there for like an hour.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, like I was
What do you
sleeping.
remember? You just remember sleeping?
Yeah.
So you go down and then wake up,
and
they
then
tell you all this that happened.
They tell me, yeah. So like they told me, and I got up, and then I felt like in peace. You know what I mean? Like something was different about me. And ever since that day, like, because I had marijuana in my house, like I always had to have like big jars, coke. I'd always have it because I was selling it. And ever since then, like I got disgusted by it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want nothing to do with since that day. So I know God touched me right there.
Did you recommit your life to God right then, or what was that? What were those
right there? I
moments
committed
after
my
that?
life.
Right when you woke up.
Yep.
Okay.
I just said, God, thank you for giving me another chance of life. I want to live it up to you, and I know I'm not gonna be perfect, you know, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
You know, so especially with my family, because we're really close family. Me and my sisters, my dad, my mom. Everybody tells us you guys have the perfect family, and we do. We never fight. Like we're just perfect. And if we need help, we help one another, you know, and that's how we just are. I tell my little brothers and sisters, like, because they see that in me and Perla and Joanna, so they try to follow us, you know. So they're pretty cool all
It's
together.
you, Joanna, Perla, the older siblings, and then how many younger?
Marlene, Aurelie, and then Abram and Balo. So 2 sisters and 2 brothers.
Okay, so 7 total.
Yeah.
So you're right, kind of at the top of that 7. Man.
Yeah.
So that was 2020.
2020.
And you and I, so at that point, I don't know where Juan is.
Yeah.
I remember when you were working with Dad, getting into that. We'd talk on the phone here and there, right? I think I stopped by, and then I'd stop by, and they're like, we don't know where he is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just...
So I remember just driving by the car wash, like, what happened to Juan? And then craziest thing happens.
Yeah.
So Linda Spreitzer, who was my 6th grade teacher at Conball, was she teaching 6th still? Or was she principal? At
No,
the
she
time?
was a principal.
So when I was in Conball, right? So when I'm 12, I mean, you're not even here yet. You're still in Mexico. I'm 6th grade Conball. She's my math teacher. And I remember she put me in charge of the class. She must have saw some leadership in me, and she left me in charge of her class. And she's very pregnant at the time, right? Like she had to leave for something. She's like, hey, take care of the class, Matt. You know, keep them on track. And then she leaves and the class starts getting rowdy. And what I decide to do is I go, hey, shut up, guys, I'm pregnant. And I make fun of her for being pregnant, right? She comes back, like suspends me. Because, she's not putting up with any of that.
Yeah.
So she's my 6th grade teacher. She stays there in Con Ball. Now she's principal for you. So I think I was the, in the 90s giving her hell. And then you come in and you're giving her hell.
Yeah.
And you lost touch with her as well, right? So I lose touch with her, but then regain some communication with her through like painting and real estate, and then ended up coming back to her school. And she's going through, she's principal at Con Ball, then a couple other schools. She's now at Knowledge Quest Academy. And we'd bring your name up. We're like, whatever happened to Juan? I'd see Jessica, what happened to Juan? Nobody knew. So she's in like King Soopers one day, right? And she calls me. She goes, Matt, you'll never guess what happened. She's in like the cereal aisle, right? Shopping. I don't know what aisle, something like that. She goes, I hear these footsteps behind me and hear this, hey, you Linda Spreitzer? She turns around. She's like, it's a big Mexican guy with a slash across his eye. And it was you.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. She tells me that story and like, tell me from your perspective how that went down.
Yeah, so I walked
caught her off guard, man.
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, I seen her at King Soopers and I knew her right away. I'm like, yeah, it has to be Linda Spreitzer. So I went up to her and then I can't remember the exact words I said, but I remember saying, hey, do you remember me? I did tell her that. And then she turned around and I think she kind of knew, but she didn't, So like in my head, I'm like, I have to, like when I was walking towards her, I was like, I have to say sorry for being a punk, all those years. She kept up with me. And then because I was in the principal's office, like literally like almost every day. Yeah. I would get suspended every week.
You had a desk there. Like
they
had an office there.
They had a desk, yeah. And I was on that desk and I remember like, the desk was here and she was like right there. So I would see her like every time I went, I don't know. So yeah, I said, I better tell her I'm sorry for all the pain and struggle I've made her go through, and my mom, like every week she would tell me, Juan, when are you going to get your act together? Because I was really, really disrespectful.
Yeah.
I didn't care what I told the teachers, I don't know why, but because I wasn't raised that way, I just didn't care.
Yeah. So Linda calls me, tells me that, and then I think you gave her your phone number, and then that's how we got connected. Then I called you, and we were having coffee. Well, this is like a year and a half ago now, probably. Yeah. And then we just had some coffee, and we're talking about what you're doing now and where you're going from here. If you're a Christian business owner in Northern Colorado, check out one of our sponsors, the Foundry Advisory. The Foundry is a Christian peer-to-peer advisory network where you can plug in as a business owner, not only to talk about how to improve your business, but how to integrate your faith. Check them out at thefoundryadvisory.com. And remember, they're not only a sponsor, but I'm also a member of their group. If you've got junk in your life or business, check out one of our sponsors, Hulk Addicts Hauling. They will come to your home or place of business to remove anything that you no longer need. They also take care of demolition on any kind of construction project. Check them out at hulkaddictsjunk.com. Yeah, so talk about some of the dreams you've got going on right now.
Some of my dreams would probably be going into Legendarios.
Yeah.
It's a really big thing going on nationwide. If you go to Legendarios, you'll find them everywhere on YouTube and Facebook and everything. It's just you go out to the mountain, you go for 4 days. It's just like a challenge for man. Like it helps you build your like your character, I would say. It just helps you like find who you are, you know. And you go out, and I remember when they first invited me, like I always wanted to, because I love challenges. I love challenges, and when they said it was a challenge, I'm like, I'm gonna try it. But when they told me the cost, I was like, I'm not gonna pay that much because it's $350 the first time you go.
So they invite you, you go. And Legendarios, it's all in Spanish, right? So
so it started
did it start in Spanish?
in English.
It started in English?
In Miami.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the original guy, Chepe, he's in Miami.
Okay. But it wasn't called Legendaries
Legendario.
but it was Legendario. But
Yeah.
it's a Latin based, but
Yep.
it's in English and Spanish.
And Spanish, yeah.
So you mostly Spanish and English speaking?
Yeah.
Going to that? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, when they told me the price, I was like, I don't know. I mean, I can go to any mountain and find God, So I ended up going, and yeah, my experience was amazing. It was something that a lot of people tell me, like, why can't you tell us? But like, you have to go live your own story, because but it's guaranteed, like, it's gonna help you value any little thing in your family, and like that helped me out a lot because it helped me value my kids and my wife, because they teach you a lot of stuff over there that is just, I don't know, amazing,
And this group is for godly men.
For
right?
godly men,
Which
yeah.
you are at that point, but you still don't see that full value. And then these guys
Yeah.
take you up on the mountain, really don't tell you what they're going to do. They just give them 4 days, and then you come out at the other end of that 4 days.
Yep. It's
Changed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You. It's like you go up there and they tell you like the way. You just talk to God, and ask Him for strength, because you're gonna need it.
Yeah.
So when they told me that, I'm like, man, and you have your backpack, a hiking bag, and then the first day, you just hike and.
And you can't really talk about it, right? Because part of it's one of those things, like you if I tell you I have to kill you.
Yeah, no.
But parts of those programs is you come up and you experience it, and then you bring other people too, and you don't tell them what they're going to experience, and that's part of the experience.
It's part of the experience, yeah.
But what you can share is, again, you're on a leadership podcast, right? You've always been a leader. Now you're in a different, just in a different platform, right? And you're leading for good and leading for God, and they've asked you to step into something pretty big, which is what?
So they want me to be the voice. It's like the main guy that talks to all the. He has to be like the mean guy. When I first met my voice, when I did my we call it top. When I did mine, and I seen that guy, I was like, oh man, what did I get into? Because he looks mean,
Yeah.
So that guy, I'm really good friends with him. We speak a lot, and he's from Colombia. He tells me, Juan, there's something, and he's told me this a lot of times. Every time I go up there to the mountain, because like the first time you go it's just to do your top, and then the second, third, whatever time you go to serve, serve them, and you get a badge every time you go on your shirt. And I remember him telling me, like, every time I go up there, he's like, Juan, I need you. I want you to be my second voice. I want you to be the voice, because I know you have the mean face, and I know you'll do good at it.
Yeah.
And I mean, when he told me that, I was like, I don't know, because I'm not really good at speaking, to people. And sometimes it's 100, 200 people that go up there. So the voice is the main guy,
So you're thinking back, 20, 25 years ago, you were here, you couldn't even speak English.
Yeah.
And now they're asking you to speak in front of hundreds of men
people, yeah.
For the kingdom.
For the kingdom, yep. And then they told me, they're like, because we have a group in our phones, a group, Legendarios, and all of us are in there. And I mean, I'm the one that they're required to go every time, because only me and my other friend have a CDL, and we take him on buses where we go. So you need a CDL for that, So thank God I got mine. And yeah, so every time I have to be there, And I love it. Every time I go, they're doing 3 this year.
Okay.
And hopefully I can go to all 3, but with work, we'll see.
So then when do you commit to being the voice for them? How does that work?
So this first one, I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to be with the voice guy. So he's going to be teaching me and stuff. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So they train you.
Yeah.
And then they say, hey, you're ready. They tell you when you're ready?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully
So then you came to your first speaking workshop. Joey, you were there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, talk about that. Joey, you were on that side of the camera.
Yeah, man.
You shared your story for the first time. Was that your first speaking workshop training?
My first one, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of that? And then we'll ask Joey.
At first, it was nerve wracking, but I mean, because I've never talked like in front of people like that. Yeah. And then like after a little bit, I was like, I have to let it go here if I want to get better out there. You know, I have to be better in here.
So what did you think coming in here, right? Because you know me, but you don't know anybody else. Mm-hmm. We hadn't seen each other for a long time, but we have a long relationship. Yeah. So we pick right back up where we left off. But I mean, you walk in and there's a very diverse crowd. So what were the true first impressions when you came in here? Like what did you think was going to happen when you saw everybody?
I would think like at first I didn't feel like, I wouldn't say welcome, but I didn't feel clicked in with the group, you know. Okay. The only one I clicked in right away was the tattooed guy. What's his name? I know his name. He had spiky hair.
Oh, Trapper.
Okay. Yeah.
Was it just the appearance for you?
Yeah.
Or was it the energy? Like
his energy. Like he was like, as soon as you open the door, I thought he worked for you.
Okay.
He goes in there, hey, how's it going, man? You know, like. So
you related to that guy pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then you see like all these like white people, like white business people, like these people. No, right? Because and then you had Rick, and then you've got Joey. Mm-hmm. So then so we get upstairs and sit down, and we were there for half the day, just sharing stories.
Yeah, and I felt more welcome. Like during passing the hour, I felt more like being able to speak. You know, I just felt more welcome.
Yeah. What was the biggest thing that you took from that experience?
Probably just learning how to bring your sentences out, like you said, like when you mentioned the pastor, like his video.
Yes.
I was like, man, Matt is really on when they speak. You're really on them, you know.
Yes.
And that's good.
Yeah.
That's what I think I liked, like, because the pastor didn't, like, I could see in his face, like, I was doing good, you know, but like you caught every little mistake in him. So
that's Rick Scadden, for those of you that are watching. And Rick's episode was just on just about a month ago, right? And he's committed now to becoming an author. But I went to his first sermon in Nebraska years ago after I said, hey, man, you should speak. And his first sermon was like anybody's first sermon, right? Yeah. But now he's on fire. Yeah, so he's at a point where we're picking everything apart, right? And then you're just like, you just have to speak. Yeah. Because you sat there for the whole. Joey, what did you observe?
I noticed that he came in pretty timid, and by the end of it, he was way more comfortable. And I think it was some like exposure therapy kind of stuff, man, like getting in front of people and exposing yourself to the fear of talking in front of people ultimately helped you do that, because then you got up in front of a bunch of business owners just like an hour later and told your story. And I mean, the size was like doubled from the workshop to how many people were there. It was like 20 people.
That tripled. Yeah, tripled. Like 6 of us. Yeah.
So, I mean, we were talking about this offline. It's just exposing yourself to the fear of doing it, and each time you do that, it just gets exponentially easier. Now, it's you don't never like just have nerves again, I think, when it comes to public speaking. But I think that a healthy amount of nerves is good to keep you on your toes and keep you aware and keep you sharp. But then you just feel more confident when you do it more.
Yeah.
And I think you got confident in like 30 minutes. It was a very quick progression.
Well, you pulled me in the office after, remember? Because we did the workshop and everybody did their thing, and then most everybody left. I think everybody left, and then we have our open coffee bar here at Cafe Sevilla every Friday noon. Cafe Sevilla, check it out. CafeSevillaCoffeeBar.com. We open up our building to business owners, business leaders. We share coffee, show love to others, share coffee with them, a little bit of networking. But then we have somebody speak. We like to give people platforms here. Right? We're about to go walk into one in like 20 minutes after this. And after the workshop, you're like, Matt, like that was fun. That was great. I'm not going to speak. I said, do you want to speak to these guys coming in? You're like, nope. Right? Yeah. And you just sat in the corner of right outside here and just hung out. And then what you made a decision though, you made a commitment. So what was going on? You weren't going to speak. and then you did. You decided to. So how did that play out in your mind?
Like, why did I want to speak? Or
yeah, I mean, you weren't going to.
No, I wasn't.
You did a workshop. You're like, Matt, that's cool. Thanks, dude. Like, not doing it. And then you sat there.
Yeah, I just felt like
that.
I had to get up, like, because everybody was going. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I have to get this fear off me. So I might as well just do it here, because after everybody spoke, I felt like a little bit more welcome. And I was like, so I'm just going to go up there and just speak a little bit about me, So, yeah, I mean, I had to.
So it's just crossing that line for you? Just crossing that line? Okay. And you are a man that says very little. You say very few words, but say a lot in those few words.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't like to speak in front of crowds. Yeah, so, but when I have to, I have to.
Okay. Well, you have to. You're being called to.
Yeah.
As the voice. I love it.
I have to.
Well, man, thanks for coming out. Who'd have thought 30 years ago I was chasing a cheerleader over to do elementary tutoring and meet you, and here we are.
Yeah.
On a podcast in 2025.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Time flies.
So where do you want to go from here? Where do you want to take, like, legendarios? You want to serve them, serve God, serve your family? What's this all mean? Where do you want to take this?
I mean, I want to take, obviously my kids, I want them to do it, but I want to wait a couple of years, to where he can get, like, the hang, because he's young still. I want to take him when he's like 17, 18. He's
14 now, right?
Yeah.
Your oldest is 14. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I want to wait a little bit. And yeah, I just want to, me and my brother got to this, because I took my brother. He's a legendario. And they give you a number. And yeah, me and my brother just want to travel, because they have them everywhere. Colombia, Japan.
You go to Spain?
I think, yeah, Spain. Spain has it too. Yeah. So, yeah, we just want to travel and observe all the other, like, not just go here, just go out to the other ones and see how they are, their tracks.
Serve God, serve them, take it out to the world. Love it, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
We're wrapping it up soon. Yep. How was this your first podcast?
My first one.
What do you think about it?
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
This is awesome, man. A lot of firsts here in this building.
Yep.
Love that. So we wrap up same way. Every show, you grabbed your favorite color over there, little baby blue, and you wrote this statement down that you want to leave with the world when you leave it. What did you write down?
So I put respect others to be respected.
Love that, man.
Yeah. You have to respect people too if you want to earn your respect. Yeah. You can't just be a little punk and then try to get respect, So that's what I put on mine.
Juan Quintana, that's a wrap.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, drop a comment below. Make sure to watch the next episode, and don't forget to subscribe. If you're a business owner looking to improve your life, leadership, faith, family, and business, I've got a couple of free things that I'd love to share with you. So go to mattshoup.com and download my free tools. I guarantee these couple of things will get you started off in the right direction.